What is up, everybody? This is Anthony with VR 365. What is going on? Today is Thursday. It is May 16th, and we are a few minutes away from 3 o'clock p.m. It is 2:58 p.m. right about now, and I'm going to go ahead and start this baby now because we've got a lot of stuff to go through. And I got to get out of here as well, so don't have a lot of time, so we need to go ahead and bounce through a lot of this stuff. So I know yesterday we were pretty heavy with a lot of trailers, and today is going to be very similar. We got a lot of trailers, a lot of games. It's hot and heavy. You know, that's kind of the way it's been the last couple of days, and it's probably going to continue like that all the way up until the 21st, Tuesday. And honestly, man, it's just going to get hectic. It's already getting hectic. It's going to get even more hectic as we move into this like summer period. Usually, remember when summer was like really slow and lame? But it seems like a lot of VR stuff is all coming in the summer for whatever reason. So that's kind of what's going on. But anyway, why don't we go ahead and start off the show by thanking our sponsor of the day. And let me see if I can find our sponsor of the day. And this is not a Patreon supporter. This is a PayPal supporter. But Dell Wolfensberger III. Yes, Dell Wolfensberger III, a shift manager at Burger King, yet has still found the way, the methods, the operation to donate money to VR 365, which is incredibly awesome. I appreciate it, Dell. It is unreal. Like, I mean, you know, you don't get paid that much at Burger King. What are you doing, dude? You're blowing your entire paycheck on VR 365 donations. Like, I appreciate it. Trust me. All the little things that you're buying, like the carrying case for my Oculus Quest, all these little accessories that you're buying basically with your donations, incredibly awesome. But man, you've got to work on that Impossible Whopper. You know, you've got to figure out how to get the bacon working with the onions and the cheese and the pickles. Hold the pickles, hold the tomatoes. But yeah, that is Dell Wolfensberger III. Yeah, Dell, you need to chill the F out. I was thinking about changing your name to like Deli the Wolf, you know, something a lot shorter than Dell Wolfensberger III. Rothschild, yeah. But yeah, that's really appreciated. Absolutely appreciate your support, Dell. It has primarily been, I believe, via PayPal. I don't know if he's a Patreon supporter. I'd have to double check. I don't think so, but I think he's always supported via PayPal. But yeah, absolutely appreciate it. Definitely. And you know what? We really did need you, Dell, with that $20 donation, because I got to say, we've been dry for the last couple of days on PayPal donations. They've just kind of all dried up. No more money is coming in, which is unfortunate from the standpoint of the Rift S. Because unless a flurry of donations happens between now and when I pick up my Quest on Tuesday, I might just go ahead and pass on the Rift S because I don't think I'll have quite enough money to go after the Rift S as well. But I definitely appreciate your support, Dell. I appreciate, you know, the three biggest supporters of this show, probably Dell Wolfensberger, Hussein X. Remember, Hussein X donated 100 bones. He donated 100 bones in a singular shot, okay? And then Shantomio, also a major supporter of this show. Those three guys, honestly, you can take the rest of the year off as far as donations go. You guys have done your part. It's up to the rest of these schmoes out there to throw $1 my way so that I might be able to get a Rift S on Tuesday. Because right now, my plan, I don't have a plan to get the Rift S. But if there is some type of flurry of donations in the next couple of days, I will change my plans on that, and I will grab a Rift S, and I'll give it that old 60-day challenge. Okay, so we got some stuff to get into today. There's a game that has released. It is currently available. Actually, let's go ahead and bounce over to the Webinal browser. We can talk about this. There is a game that is available today. Here it is, Panoptic. So Panoptic is a tense, 1 versus 1, asymmetrical VR versus desktop game that pits a colossal overseer armed with a slow but devastating eye laser against a tiny dissident being intent on destroying the overseer's energy sources by mimicking the movements of others to remain undetected. So this is another one of these asymmetrical things. I went ahead and grabbed the trailer for this. Why don't we go ahead and check out the trailer and then we can come back and talk about this real quick. So let's go back over here to our standard scene. And we're going to, I haven't been calling it the Oculus Lenovo too much lately. I should probably get back to that. That was really funny for a brief period of time. I loved calling it the Oculus Lenovo. I really did. But I don't know, it kind of wore out its welcome. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out Panoptic. This is a teaser trailer available today, right now, for $15. You can grab this for $15. Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, that is the trailer for Panoptic, and that is, of course, available today. It is available actually right now as we speak. Let me go ahead and turn this down a little bit. So this is an asymmetrical multiplayer game. Now, the fact that it says multiplayer game, that leads me to believe there is no single player version of this game as far as I can tell. So this is kind of like Carly and the Reaper Man, where you gotta have somebody else. You gotta have somebody else playing this along with you. And you basically need somebody, I think, in your actual house. These are some of the questions I have. And I have a few unanswered questions. Number one, do you absolutely need to have another person in your house to do this? Or could you possibly play online somehow against somebody that is on a desktop? You're in the VR headset, they're on the desktop, or maybe you're on the desktop, they're in a VR headset. Can you do that multiplayer online? I don't think so, but I don't know absolutely for sure. And then I guess there's no kind of bots mode where you can kind of play against a computer in some type of way. These games concern me because, I mean, it's a great idea. It's a great idea. The idea here is pretty cool. But what if you don't got anybody else in your house that you can call on to play with you? Carly, I will say this. Carly and the Reaper Man, you don't need another person now. There is an option. They added that in later. But at the very, very beginning, when Carly and the Reaper Man first came out, you had to have somebody else, or you had to... I actually played Carly and the Reaper Man. See, the thing is, I requested a code for Carly and the Reaper Man from the developer, something Raven Studios, right? And I requested a code from them, and I didn't pay attention. Like, I didn't know that it was a game that required somebody else to be there. And so I felt really bad about that, and I wanted to try the game. I wanted to play it. So what I did was I actually got an Xbox controller. Excuse me. I got an Xbox wired controller, and I put my VR headset on, and I picked up the controller, and I would play a little bit, and then I would have the VR headset kind of up like this. I'd play with my controller. I'd put the headset back on. I'd play. It was really terrible. It was a bad way to play, but at least I was able to kind of see the game and get a feel for the game. And then they added a legit single player mode later because a lot of people were clamoring for it and asking for it. But yeah, this is Panoptic. I do like the visual style. I definitely like the visual style. Let's go back to the webinar. Let's go back to the webinar and let's check out let's check out this page here. I was curious if it had any more information. So it does say multiplayer. It does say local multiplayer. It does say partial controller support. It says that it requires a play area with 360-degree tracking. You need 2 meters by 1.5 meters. There is a demo. So try that demo out. That demo just came on May 11th, early access later this month. Panoptic is available now in early access. Let's see, it says, born out of a multi-award-winning Game Jam prototype, Panoptic sees one player enter virtual reality as the Overseer, a powerful being that searches the world and its inhabitants for any signs of uprising. The other player uses a desktop computer to become one of the tiny beings under the watchful eye of the Overseer. Tasked with destroying the Overseer's energy sources, blending in becomes critical. If you break away from the crowd or the other beings, then the Overseer will spot your ass and will blast your ass in a major way. But I still don't know absolutely for sure if this absolutely requires 2 humans in the same location, because that's problematic. I mean, I've got two teenagers, right? You would think I could get one of my teenager sons to come over here and play this with me, but I'd pretty much have to bribe them. I'd probably have to give them a 10 spot to come over here and play this with me. They're not going to want to do it. They don't care. They're not interested in this. This isn't Call of Duty. This isn't freaking Fortnite. It isn't Apex Legends. It isn't Grand Theft Auto Online. So they don't care. They simply don't care. And my wife doesn't play games, and she's not into games at all, really. So I don't know who I could play this with. Now, it would be cool if you could get on the internet, and if there was like some kind of multiplayer on the internet where maybe you could switch off with somebody. I mean, that would be a good idea, right? Like you scratch somebody's back, they scratch yours, where if you could have a buddy and you say, look, okay, I'll be the desktop guy for an hour and you go into the VR headset, and then next time you're the desktop guy and I'm going to go into the VR headset. But it's a cool idea, and I like the visual style. It's kind of got this weird, interesting kind of a look to it. Especially the little guys that are walking around with a gigantic, I don't know what those things are on their heads, but like these weird little polygonal dudes. It does have this kind of weird, mysterious, oppressive kind of a look to it that I can appreciate. So that is Panoptic. I mean, it's only $15, so not too much. There's no discount right now for it being brand new. There is the demo, but again, like I would try this demo, but I don't have anybody else to play with me, so I think I'm kind of boned. But basically, that is Panoptic. Does look kind of cool. Let's see. Okay, so in other news, we've heard some rumors. Well, there's rumors going around now. I've heard some conflicting information about this. But basically, I'll just show you guys what I've seen, and then you guys can be the judge of this, I guess. Let me go ahead and grab something else that I can throw into this trailer window, and we can take a look at it real quick. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is a message from maybe Kevgret. Is this actually a message from Kevgret under a different name where he says, hey, man, I had a quick question, brah. Do you see any possibility of GORN on the Oculus Quest? And then the answer came back and it said, hey, yes, we are porting to the Quest. In addition to PSVR, there are a few challenges with porting and we are a small team, so I can't promise a specific date. So I saw this on a number of message boards, I mean, not message boards, but I saw it on the PSVR subreddit. I saw it on the Oculus Quest subreddit, and I saw it on the regular Oculus subreddit. So I've seen this in 3 different places, this exact thing right here. And I got to assume that the guy that's responding to this question works with Free Lives, the developer of GORN. We've already heard, they've already said, Free Lives have already come out and said that they would like to get it on PSVR, but that they're not very good at programming. Joke, joke, joke. Ha ha ha, he he he. So they're not very good at programming, but they're going to try to get it on PSVR. But now they're mentioning Quest as well. Okay, so Kevgret's saying the guy changed his tune. Well, maybe he's changed his tune because maybe this wasn't supposed to go wide. Like maybe everybody wasn't supposed to find out about this. But I could see, honestly, to me, GORN makes more sense on the Oculus Quest than it does on PlayStation VR. I don't know how GORN's going to work on PlayStation VR without a lot of broken TVs and just unless they like get that secret sauce, that camouflage. The developer of Iron Man VR apparently has some kind of idea, like they've got some kind of secret sauce on how they're going to track you even when you start turning around and your move controllers are occluded. And so if who am I talking about here? If Free Lives, if the developer of GORN, if they can get that secret sauce, that information on how camouflage did it, then maybe GORN could be playable, but you still got the problem with the cord and everything. I think it's just kind of a bad idea, GORN on PSVR. I know a lot of people want GORN on PSVR, but I just don't see quite how it's going to work too well. And you don't want to play GORN with snap turning. That would kind of suck. But I guess you could do that. I guess potentially you could do that. But it seems like it would make more sense on Quest. I guarantee you they're trying to get this on Quest. The question is, will it work or not? Will they be able to scale it down or not? And will it be fun and will it feel good? I don't care what they're saying now. They probably just didn't want to leak this information out this quickly, or maybe they haven't been approved. Like there's a lot of things behind the scenes that could be going on from an Oculus approval kind of a thing. But anyways, you know, these kind of rumors like about GORN and about all these other games, we're going to continue to hear this stuff until the end of time. Basically, I can get up here every single day and talk about some new rumor about some game coming to the Quest. Or, you know, is this coming to the Quest? Is that coming to the Quest? Every single day, it seems like I get up here and there's some kind of rumor about this game coming to the Quest, that game coming to the Quest. And I don't know that, you know, I'm these developers, they're going to try it. They're going to work on it. They're going to have a small little team that's going to be banging away on it. And then it's just going to ultimately be a decision. Did it work out or not? Did it actually work? Did it not work? So this is just something we're going to be dealing with going forward. Okay, what other news do we got today? Let's see here. Well, you know what? There is some news on Steam. Speaking of games that are on Steam like Panoptic, let's go back to the webinar. And here it is, Tabletop Gods. Okay, so Tabletop Gods, I'm a fan of this game. I'm very much a fan of this game. I like this game. I thought it was really cool. I wish I had more time to go back into it. There's so many games, I've touched them briefly, but it's like the march continues. There's a steady march of games that are constantly coming, and it's very difficult for me to just hover with one game. I got a real job. I got a wife. I got a kids. If I had no wife and no kids, if I had no job, I could probably spend about 3 or 4 hours just playing stuff and not even worrying about like whether or not it's content for VR 365 or I'm going to write some kind of article about it on VR Game Rankings or whatever. I could have like 3 or 4 hours maybe in a given day where I could play games just for the F of it and maybe get a little bit farther in them and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I don't have that luxury. It sucks because I really would want to go back here. There's just too many games that are constantly coming, and it's going to get even worse. Oh my God, on Tuesday when I get the Quest, there's going to be like 50 different things I kind of need to report on. Now, I'm not going to report on all of it, but I got to report on Vader Immortal and Super Hot and Beats. You know, I got to report on all the big ones and talk about my personal opinions on all these games and all of that. And it's just going to get chaotic. But Tabletop Gods, it is out of early access. The price has dropped 25% for this promotion. You can grab this for $15. Okay, this special offer ends on May 23rd. But here's the other thing. You can play Tabletop Gods for free for 3 days. It ends in 3 days. So you can play this game for free. And I highly recommend, like, this is your homework assignment. Straight up. This is your homework assignment. If you have Steam, if you have the capability to try this, if you've got a Windows mixed reality headset, if you've got an Oculus Rift, if you've got an HTC Vive, if you've got a Pimax, if you've got any of, if you've got an HP Reverb, if you're one of like maybe 10 people on planet Earth that has an HP Reverb, try this out, man. You've got 3 days. Try it out. I think it's very impressive. If you've liked Brass Tactics, if you liked Final Assault, I think you're going to like Tabletop Gods. Now, I would say that Brass Tactics and Final Assault are both better games than this game, but not by a gigantic margin. Not by a gigantic margin, and this is only $15. So much love to developer Ghostfish Games. I think they did a great job with this, and it's got kind of a little bit of a unique kind of a look to it. So I'm a fan of this game. And they've also done some patch notes and things like that. But yeah, I would check this out if you guys get an opportunity. That is Tabletop Gods. It is out there. Okay, so now we have a brand new, never before heard from game, at least not that I know of. It's another Escape the Room game, but here comes another game. It is called Fade Out, Virtual Reality Escape Room. The developer for this is PlaySys. And it says, this is a classical escape room experience created in VR for real fans of this genre. Find the clues, solve the puzzles, and escape the room. Actually, mini rooms. You're going to be escaping mini rooms. Now, this comes out on May 21st. So this comes out on Tuesday. Now, I know what you guys are going to say. I'm playing this on Tuesday. F the Quest. F everybody's Golf VR. F all the other counter programming. I'm playing Fade Out. No, you're not. You're probably not. Also, it does say on here that this requires an HTC Vive. But, sometimes we see this. I don't think that it's really going to require an HTC Vive, but who knows? Maybe it will require an HTC Vive. But I did grab the trailer for this, so why don't we go ahead and take a look at this trailer really quick and see what it looks like in trailer form. So bouncing back over to our standard scene, let me grab the trailer for Fade Out. Another, I don't know if it's a horror game, but let's see. Let's check this out. Okay, so that is the trailer for Fade Out. And as you can see, they kind of just scroll through a number of these different rooms that you're going to go through. So that's probably one of the rooms that you're going to have to get out of that room. And then you're going to have to get out of this room. And then you're going to have to get out of the next room. And so that's kind of what they're doing here. I will say this, though. One of the nice things about Escape the Room games and like room scale, if you've got a big enough area and the room is relatively small, like look at that. That looks basically like a prison cell right there that you got to escape from a prison cell. Then you could walk around your entire room, especially think about it with an Oculus Quest. Escape the Room games on an Oculus Quest where you can get the full room scale and you can walk completely from one side of the room, completely to the other side of the room. You're walking around, you've got no wires at all. That's kind of a great idea. This one is going to come out on the day that the Oculus Quest is arriving. This is coming next Tuesday. I don't know what the price of it is, but that is Fade Out Virtual Reality Escape Room. Might be halfway decent. We don't know. Okay, another game where I want to grab a trailer for this, and this is an Oculus Quest trailer, is Racket Fury Table Tennis. And if you guys listen to the F Reality podcast, if you watch it, you probably watch it on YouTube. I listen to it. Dell Wolfensberger once escaped from Burger King. Why do you want to escape, dude? You're moving on up. You're already a shift manager. Next thing you know, you're going to be the friggin' general manager. And you're going to be able to drive to like 5 different Burger Kings in your area and inspect them and make sure nothing goes wrong. I mean, dude, you are moving on up. I don't know why you'd want to escape Burger King. Burger King, I mean, you had the funnel cake fries before anybody else. I'm sure you got to sample them on the side, so that was beautiful. Okay, I want to check out this trailer, though, for Racket Fury Table Tennis VR on the Oculus Quest, primarily because of Rowdy Guy. Rowdy Guy on F Reality Podcast has said a couple of different times that like this was like one of his favorite games he's played so far on the Oculus Quest, which I found surprising because I tried a demo of Racket Fury Table Tennis VR, like the Steam version, a long time ago, and I wasn't really feeling it. Like, for me, I'd rather play 11 table tennis, or I'd rather play, like, Hollow Ball, or I'd rather play, and Hollow Ball is not table tennis, but, or I would rather play, like, Racket NX or something like that. But some people really like Racket Fury Table Tennis VR. So let's go ahead and check out the Quest trailer and see how it looks. So I'm going to pump up the volume on Fade Out, and let's go ahead and check out Racket Fury, the actual Quest version of the game. So let's check this out. Okay, so that is Racket Fury Table Tennis VR for the Oculus Quest by Pixel Edge Games. And like I said, people have played, well, Rowdy Guy at least has played this on the Oculus Quest, and I believe he felt like this was his favorite Oculus Quest game of the, I think he liked Face Your Fears 2 as well. But he put this up there with some of his favorite Oculus Quest games, which kind of surprised me a little bit. Now, we know that 11 Table Tennis VR is coming to the Oculus Quest, but it's not going to be there on day one. We also know, I think it isn't, right? And then we know that Racket NX is coming to the Oculus Quest, and you want to talk about a game I really do want to play on the Oculus Quest, it is Racket NX. That game is meant for wireless, and I absolutely want to play that on the Oculus Quest, but that's coming later as well. And so at launch, this is going to be the table tennis game that is out there to deal with at launch. And that's great for Pixel Edge because they are jumping ahead of 11 Table Tennis VR. They're jumping ahead of Racket NX, and they're probably going to get quite a few sales on this game prior to those other two games coming out and challenging them. But yeah, I did try the demo. I know there's a demo for this. In fact, let's go to the Webinal browser here because let's see here. See, here is the Steam page for Racket Fury Table Tennis VR. It's also, of course, on the Oculus Rift. I believe this is on PlayStation VR as well. The reviews are very positive. I don't know why I didn't really like this too much. I think there's a demo for this as well. But the reviews are very positive on this. I mean, it's got very positive reviews, and it's going for $20. We're not sure yet in terms of pricing. I'm still wondering about Oculus Quest prices. I believe there should be a bit of a discount. I think there should be a discount. Like, for example, this game's $20 on Steam and probably $20 on the Oculus store. I think it should be like $15 or like $17 on the Quest. Now, some people would say you're crazy. Why are you expecting a discount? And I'll say because it's a mobile platform. That's why. I mean, games on Go are cheaper than they are on the Rift or Steam. It's, games on a Vita are cheaper than the PlayStation 3. Games on a Nintendo DS are cheaper than the Nintendo Wii, usually. It's just kind of that's the way it works, right? Games on a console, like if you get them on your phone, the games are cheaper, right? Now, I'm not expecting a giant discount. I don't expect that a game that costs $30 on PC is going to be $15. I don't expect that. But I think a game that is $20 maybe should be like $15.99 or something. So I guess we're going to have to wait because we still don't have the prices for everything. We still don't know the prices for everything. But a lot of people are liking this game on the Quest. I don't know if they're going to have a demo for this. It would be nice if they did have a demo. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see when that comes out on Tuesday. Okay, so one of the things we do like to cover, and a game that is coming on Tuesday for the Oculus Quest, Space Pirate Trainer. That's another cool game that will be fun to play on the Oculus Quest, untethered, not worrying about tripping over anything. That's going to be nice. Space Pirate Trainer. But guess what, guys? Going back over here to the Webby browser here, it is the deal of the day. If I could find it right here. Okay, here it is. It is the deal of the day, Space Pirate Trainer. The normal price for Space Pirate Trainer, $15. You can grab this for $8. It's almost 50% off. It's 46% off. You got a little over 8 hours left in this deal. Now, don't quote me on this, but I think this might be a cross-buy, maybe. I mean, I don't think we've specifically heard that it's not a cross-buy. I don't know that it's absolutely been confirmed for a cross-buy. But if you're picking up an Oculus Quest this Tuesday and you really want to grab Space Pirate Trainer as one of your games, this might be a way to get it for $8. But I don't know absolutely 100% for sure. I don't think there's any information like on here that would say it would be cross-buy, does it? They should have like a little logo. Like there should be a little logo that says cross-buy. Some kind of like little logo thing that could be somewhere where you could know if something is cross-buy or not. That would be a good idea. But I'm not seeing anything here, and I don't know absolutely with certain. But yeah, it's $8. It is the daily deal. And Space Pirate Trainer, man, I've played this on my Oculus Rift. I played this on my Oculus Rift. I don't think it was the native Oculus version. I think I was playing the Steam version on my Oculus Rift, and I had not played Space Pirate Trainer in the longest time, and I decided to play it again. I can't remember why I did, but oh my God, it was so freaking polished. It was so butter smooth. Everything just worked absolutely perfectly. And one of the absolute funnest things to do with Space Pirate Trainer, oh man, I used to have a tremendous amount of fun doing this with Space Pirate Trainer, because what I would do is I have these big tower speakers that are back there. And what I would do is Space Pirate Trainer is mostly like a 180 game where you kind of have your feet planted and then like everything is happening in front of you. And so you kind of, you're shooting at stuff over here, shooting at stuff over there, but it's all happening in front of you. And what I would do is I would hook the sound to my stereo. And so I wouldn't be using headphones. And the other thing that I did is I would take MP3s like music, like I would have my own music thumping in the background, and then I would turn Space Pirate Trainer, I would turn the audio to just, I would turn off the in-game music. The in-game music is good. It's actually good, but I would turn it off and I would listen to like music that I was into, that like kind of hype me up type of music, and I would just have a blast playing Space Pirate Trainer. And it was almost more of a case of enjoying my music. It was more like a way to enjoy my music in a new way, more than it was playing Space Pirate Trainer. It was weird like that. And I was thinking about this with the Quest, and I was like, man, it's probably going to be impossible to do that with the Quest. How cool would that be, though, if you could get like MP3s onto your Quest, and then you could like play them somehow, and you could go into the game and you can go into the sound options and you could turn off the background music and still hear your MP3s playing while you're playing something like Space Pirate Trainer, but then you have all the sound effects and you have all the all the lasers that are hitting you and all that stuff. The other memory I have was Space Pirate Trainer, and this goes all the way back to April 2016, when I was a brand new VR gamer and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. This was like one of the very first games I bought, because everybody would rant and rave about Space Pirate Trainer, so I bought it. And I remember playing this game, and I was so amazed at how this game worked, and I was so blown away just by like VR in general, and I was like, oh my god, this is freaking incredible. And I was thinking to myself, this game is more enjoyable. Well, back in April 2016 when I was playing it and it was all brand new and I never did VR ever before, I was like, playing this game is more enjoyable to me right here and right now than going on like a Disneyland ride. Like, that's how I equated it. I'd be like I would rather play this right here, right now than go on some new Disneyland ride. Now, that's not the case anymore, but I was super new to VR and I was totally blown away by VR. And the other cool thing is, how you have those drones that are hovering around and they're shooting at you and you're like dodging the shots and the shots kind of come in slow motion and stuff. One time I got shot by one of these drones, and the shot came at me and it hit me right in my chest, and I just went like this, and I fell over onto the ground. Because, dude, this was like the very first thing I played in VR. It was like the first couple of days that I had VR. And so it was all brand new. I didn't know what VR was about. And a shot hit me right in my chest, and I just went, ugh. I felt like I got shot, like I really did, because like my brain was like, dude, you got shot. And I was like, boom, oh. And I fell down, and then I just started laughing and giggling about the whole thing. And I was like, oh my God, this is so incredible. How amazing is this? But yeah, I love Space Pirate Trainer in the very, very early days. Really cool. Oh my God. Elevidity says that he puts on his own soundtrack for To the Top. Dude, that is so wrong. The To the Top soundtrack is freaking awesome. I love the To the Top soundtrack. You don't need to override that soundtrack. Okay, so anyways, what were we going to talk about now? So that is Space Pirate Trainer. It is a deal. Okay, let's go back to our standard scene. So there is a video that is out there. A new video came out for Thief Simulator VR, which is showing off car interior interactions. Let's go ahead and check this out. I'm going to turn up the volume on this Racket Fury deal. And let's check out this little in-the-car interaction deal. Okay. So this is Thief Simulator VR. You're opening the car door. You're getting inside the car. I like the world. Look at the world. Like, is it really going to look like that? That's like Grand Theft Auto type shit right there. I mean, this looks really, really good if it really looks like this.
A to Z favorites.
Yeah, this looks sweet. Thief Simulator VR. Looking pretty dope. So that does look pretty good. What is that, a Honda Civic? Okay, let's see. I'm going to go... Yeah, let's go to the Thief Simulator VR page real quick and take a look at it. So yeah, Thief Simulator VR, another VR game that is coming in the not too distant future. I'm telling you guys, we've got a lot of VR games. We might not have Grand Theft Auto 5. We might not have Red Dead Redemption and stuff like that, but we've got a lot of cool games that are coming to VR. Absolutely. I mean, this is another one. So let's go, yeah, let's bounce over to the Steam page for this. Okay, so this is Thief Simulator VR. It just says coming soon. Planned release date coming soon. So yeah, we don't really know when this is coming on. First gameplay video, work in progress. This was back on April 4th. It says, as for now, we've implemented 3 types of locomotion. Arm swinging, mostly for running outside. Head bob, for sneaking in a house, especially when holding microwave oven. Touchpad, if you don't want to engage too much. But it's up to you which and when to use. As you'll see in the video, you can also grab all stuff and throw. Yeah, this game's looking pretty good, man. I mean, if it really looks as good as all the trailers make it look, and if it plays as good as all the trailers make it look, this is, I mean, look at these interiors. Like, that looks sweet right there. If you can get into all these different cars and stuff, and the neighborhood you're driving around, looks kind of Grand Theft Auto-esque a little bit. And the idea of breaking into people's houses and stealing things in VR, it's actually a freaking great idea. Like, this is a wonderful idea. This idea makes a lot of sense. Because think about it. I'm sure, look, I'm not a criminal, and I personally believe that there's no getting over. Like I've said this a million times, there is no getting over. There are people that steal things from other people. They get away with it for a little while, but they don't get away with it forever. I believe you will pay a price guaranteed. There's no getting over. And people need to learn that and understand that. However, at the same time, I can also tell you that I've had weird fantasies of breaking into someone's house and stealing stuff. Not to be mean and to like steal stuff from them, but just the idea that so many houses, it seems like it would be easy to break into them and look through their houses and steal things. And so I can live this dream in VR without being arrested and without ruining people's days by stealing shit from their houses and without getting all the bad karma and all that stuff. So I really like this idea. Thief Simulator VR, I think it's a really good, yeah, I'm not a crook. I'm not a criminal. Look, I'm not. I've done some criminal activity, maybe some very, very minor, extremely minor criminal activity in my past, in my long distance past. I've never been in the pen or anything, but maybe some very, very minor criminal activity, a little bit here and a little bit there, and that I'm not proud of. But I'm not a criminal anymore, and I just don't believe in getting over. There was a day when I did maybe believe in getting over. I don't believe in getting over now. But this looks fun to me, like breaking into homes, casing out the houses, finding out when they're going to leave, stealing their plasmas, stealing their microwaves. It kind of seems fun to me. And the game is looking pretty good. So I'm looking forward to that. That is Thief Simulator VR. Okay, you know what? We've got a brand new Blood and Truth trailer that has just arrived in the last couple of hours. Now this trailer it has some old footage that we've already seen before, but it also has a little bit of brand new footage that's mixed in as well. So why don't we go ahead and check out this brand new Blood and Truth trailer? Because, dude, I'm getting hyped. Blood and Truth, probably game of the month? Well, oh, man, I just thought about that. Is Blood and Truth going to be game of the month? Blood and Truth is coming out on May 28th, but you got all these freaking Quest games, man. You got Vader Immortal and all that. You got Journey of the Gods, Shadow Point. A lot of stuff, is coming this month. And then there's other games as well. Even Everybody's Golf, a lot of things. So I wonder if Blood and Truth is going to actually be the game of the month. But let's go ahead and check out this trailer. It does look good. So I'm going to pump the volume up on this Thief thing. And we're going to check out Blood and Truth real quick. Brand new trailer that just dropped.
What do I want? Your operation.
He's not going to start an all-out war. He's not big enough.
I'm going to go and find out.
You're just going to walk in there?
Cycles in the streets of London. Cycles in the London city. Cycles in the streets of London. I got to be something brilliant. Today a legend is born. Ready for vengeance rather than war. Ready for anything, ready for more. My English gangster, I'm dead for sure.
We need to push back hard or we're finished.
For the players.
All right, well, there it is. That is a brand new trailer for Blood and Truth. And like I said, some of this stuff we've seen before. Like, we've seen a few of these scenes before, but some of these we haven't seen before. And this looks very much like an action movie, like a spy movie, a thriller, kind of like Defector. In fact, Defector is so similar to this, and this is so similar to Defector, that it kind of sucks that they're both coming out probably within 90 days of each other. Like, I really wish these two games were way spaced away from each other because they do look very, very similar. Now, I'll tell you what, though. For those of you that have never tried PlayStation VR Worlds, and if you haven't, what the hell is wrong with you? Because where was I? I was on like somebody's podcast or something, and they were mentioning that PlayStation VR Worlds was on sale for like $5. I don't know if it was like a physical version somewhere or if it was a downloadable version of PlayStation VR Worlds, but London Heist, which is in PlayStation VR Worlds, still to this day, to this very day, and I've played all the high-end PC VR stuff there is. I've played Fallout 4, I've played Skyrim, I've played LA Noire, I've played all the biggest PC VR games we have, but to this day, if you want to talk about just pure impressive VR experiences, London Heist, the car chase scene in London Heist, one of the most impressive experiences I've ever had in VR, bar none, any platform. It's in the top 5. It is absolutely in the top 5. You're driving with this guy. He hands you a submachine gun. There's like Coke cans and stuff. You're like in this car, speeding along. You're on a freeway. I felt like I was in an action movie. I felt like, oh my God, we're so close. We are so close to being able to simulate being inside an action movie. Is there anything better? Like, this is the ultimate dream. This is my ultimate dream. My ultimate dream is, like, as a little kid, I would see a movie like Star Wars or some incredible movie, a James Bond movie or something, and I would think to myself, man, if only I could be inside that movie. Like, if only I could somehow step inside that movie and live inside that movie. And that's always been my dream. Ever since all the video games I've ever played, it's like, when can I get closer and closer and closer to this idea of stepping inside an actual movie, a real movie? And one of the closest times I've ever gotten to that was with the London Heist, was the car chase scene on London Heist. And the other one I would say would be Lone Echo. Interacting with Olivia in Lone Echo, I felt like I was practically in a sci-fi movie for very brief periods of time. I'm not saying the entire game of Lone Echo you're in a sci-fi movie. I'm saying there were brief windows of time within Lone Echo where I was like, shit, this is like a sci-fi movie that has come to life and I'm in the friggin' movie. And that's the same exact way I felt about London Heist. That's why I'm so hyped for Blood and Truth, because Blood and Truth is everything we've got in London Heist, just a hell of a lot more of it. And so London Heist was this very short thing that didn't last very long, and this is a full-length game. Now, the question is, just how long is this? Is this like 5 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours? I don't know how long this is, but I'm looking forward to this. And you people out there that do not have a PlayStation VR at all, man, I feel for you guys, because there are experiences. See, that's the thing. Like rendered reality, and some of you guys, and I'm not saying, look, everybody can't buy everything. There's too much crap. You can't have everything. You're gonna miss out on something. It's just the way it works. We're going to miss out on something. For example, I've never played Dr. Gourdboards, okay? I've never played any Magic Leap stuff. I've never played any HoloLens stuff. So I'm missing out on something. but I would hate to miss out on this type of stuff because damn, this is powerful. I think those of you that do not have a PlayStation VR, find somebody that does. Find somebody that does that you know in your own city where you can go to their house. Find somebody that's buying this game and just say, hey man, you've got a PlayStation VR. Are you getting Blood and Truth? And they're like, hell yes, I'm absolutely getting Blood and Truth. Just say, dude, might I be able to like try it out for like 15 minutes just so I can see what the hell Anthony's talking about? You guys will be amazed. And then also from the money standpoint, like rendered reality, I forget, maybe it was rendered reality in their last podcast, I believe it was their Coffee and VR. I think somebody mentioned something about PlayStation VR or why not buy a PlayStation VR, or somebody mentioned something about that. And I think they were saying, yeah, but man, you got to pay so much. Or no, I know what it was. It was Virtual Strangers. And they were talking to Alex. Okay, I'm sorry. It was Virtual Strangers. In the Virtual Strangers podcast, the most recent podcast, Alex is the one guy on that show that does not have a PlayStation VR. And they were talking to Alex about PlayStation VR stuff. And Alex was like, yeah, I know, but I'm going to wait for PlayStation 5. I'm not going to buy a PSVR now. And he started to bring up like how much everything costs and all of that. And I totally understand that. I really do. Because it's like, on one hand, why would you spend $500 to get like a PlayStation VR package when you could throw that $500 at like a Reverb or a Valve Index or something? So I understand, or even a Quest, or even an Oculus Quest. So I understand it. We don't all have money for everything. We can't afford everything. But the one thing I wanted to say to Alex right at that time when I was hearing that podcast, I would say this to Alex. Okay, so here in Sacramento, like he's in the UK, and I don't know what it's like over there in the UK, but I'll tell you here in Sacramento, California, or like a lot of places in California and a lot of cities here in the United States, you can go on to Craigslist and you could get a PlayStation VR for like $120. You could get a used PlayStation VR for like $120. Now, you still need a PlayStation 4, right? But you could get a used PlayStation 4 for about $125, $150. So for about $300, okay, see, gaming in still life, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. PSVR is no match for PCVR. Only technologically. PlayStation VR is killing it, dude. PlayStation VR has better games. PlayStation VR has better games than PC VR. Let's be real about it. They've got better exclusives. They've got better developers right now as we speak. They've got better tailored VR experiences on PlayStation VR. Now, you're going to shit on PlayStation VR because the resolution is not that high and it's got a limited processor, and it's a PlayStation 4, man, and it can't compete with my 1080 Ti, man, and, blah, 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 blah. But, dude, you don't got nothing like this. There's nothing like this on PC VR. You don't have Bound, you don't have Tumble, you don't have Astrobot. There's nothing on PC VR, nothing that can compete with Astrobot. There's nothing that can go head to head with Astrobot. I'm sorry. This is just wrong. This is a case where you're wrong. You are flat out wrong. Gary was probably the same way until Gary finally got his PlayStation VR. And ask Gary this exact question. Gary still, I know there's a part of Gary that still prefers PC VR, but he will admit that PlayStation VR has changed his opinions of shit and that there is great stuff. For example, like Everybody's Golf, it comes out on Tuesday. Is there anything like that on PC VR that could really compete head-to-head with that? You might say Tea Time Golf, like Phil Yarn. If Phil Yarn is in chat, Phil Yarn would say, oh, Tea Time Golf. But no, Tea Time Golf is a very, 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 very poor man's version of Everybody's Golf. Everybody's Golf is the real shit. Okay? Everybody's Golf is the real shit. And Tea Time Golf is like a poor man's version of that. And so when I'm trying to, like even Defector, this game right here may shit all over Defector. I hate to break it to you, and I'm not trying to be rude to Twisted Pixel or anybody like that. Like, they're great developers. I'm sure Defector is going to be a great game as well. But this game, you don't understand, dude. London Studios, they've got better developers, man. They've got better developers. The best games that we have on PC VR is like Fallout 4, Skyrim VR, LA Noire. You know, a lot of these games are not even designed for VR. They're not even designed for VR. So honestly, you have to, even that like Talos Principle VR, it was not made for VR. It was converted to VR. So you've got to then take custom-made VR games and compare them head-to-head with the custom-made VR games on PlayStation VR. Look at Firewall Zero Hour. Firewall Zero Hour has some of the best 3D audio I've ever heard, period, bar none, across any platform. I'm telling you, the treating the PlayStation VR like it's a redheaded stepchild or whatever you want to say, and that's rude to, I mean, it's an old phrase that unfortunately is stuck in my head. There's some old phrases that are stuck. I shouldn't say that. That's a bad phrase to say. Like somebody once said, stop saying that. I'm a redhead. Don't say that. And I shouldn't say that. So apologies for saying redheaded stepchild. But that's what I'm talking about, where you PC VR snobs, and I'm a graphics whore like the rest of them. You know, I'm a graphics whore. Just like y'all, I'm a graphics whore, and I do prefer the highest end experiences on PC VR, but I know better, man. I know better. I've played Ghost Giant and a lot of these games, and I know that, like, if I were to write down the 50 best VR games, period, a lot of them are on this. A lot of them are on PlayStation VR. You can't just throw that away. You can't just discount it just because you don't like it and you don't want to think about it. It's going to be the same thing with Quest. Like, there's a lot of people that just cannot stand Quest, and their eyes just glaze over. Anytime anybody talks about anything Quest, their eyes glaze over. We have them in chat probably right now. We have people right now in chat that have no interest whatsoever in an Oculus Quest, and they're going to get inundated with just tons of Quest info. Man, it's going to be hard to be you. But see, those people that are hating the Quest right now, well, there's millions of them that were hating PlayStation VR. And like every time I would cover a PlayStation VR topic, they'd be like, oh God, here goes Anthony talking about PlayStation VR again. Oh my God, when are we going to get back to PC VR? Nobody cares about this crappy PlayStation VR stuff. No, you're missing out. You are missing out. But, you know, sometimes we do have to make choices, and I will admit you can't have everything unless you're Dell Wolfensberger III. And then you're working at Burger King and you are balling out of control, and then you can have everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to our next topic. I need to get out of here is what I need to do because it's about coffee time. But we've got one last topic, YouTube VR. YouTube VR is coming to the Quest. YouTube VR is coming to the Quest. There's a trailer for it. Why don't we go ahead and check it out? So I'm going to go ahead and turn up the volume on this puppy.
Favorite little tapestry, and then I've got, hey,
Here comes the tunnel. 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so YouTube VR is coming to the Quest, so that is good news. Why is it still not on the Oculus Rift, though? That's kind of weird, isn't it? But yeah, YouTube VR is coming to the Quest. That's exciting. You're going to be able to watch VR 365 on the Quest if you'd like to. I don't know why people would want to do that, but if you want to do that, go ahead. You can do that. The nice thing about it, though, is there are a few 180 videos and there's a few 360 videos that you can get on YouTube that you might want to show your mom or your grandma or something like that. So it is good news that YouTube is going to be on the Quest. That is good news. Of course, they had the YouTube app on the Oculus Go, so it's no really huge surprise. But there's no YouTube app on the Oculus Rift, which does seem a little bit weird. But one other thing I wanted to mention really quick here. One other thing I wanted to mention is I was doing some searches on some trailers, and I found a trailer for this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's go to the Webby browser here. Let's go to the Webby browser, and I want to show you guys Amaze VR. Okay, so this is Amaze VR, their YouTube channel, right? And so if you click on videos here, we can see the videos they got. And I saw this one. It says, How to Get the Girl. And this is a 4K VR trailer. And you know what? I downloaded this, and I can show you guys this for a second. The problem is it comes out in this weird mode. So you can't, like, it doesn't work. I wish they had a regular version of the trailer that I could download. But you know what? I'll show you what I'm talking about real quick here. I'm going to put it on because I'm telling you, this Amaze VR stuff is funny, it is hilarious, and it is really cool to try this stuff out. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to pop this on, and we're going to turn up the volume.
What do you see? It's a party. Drinks, drunk people, and the girl of your dreams.
Excuse me, do you need something? We're kind of busy right now.
Let's run it back. Okay, you're gonna get a second chance and you're not gonna blow it. Why? I'm not gonna let it happen. My job is to make you look like the coolest cat alive so you can score that girl.
You have the chance to be the guy now. Out with the old, in with the new. You need to be confident, playful, a good listener. You need to be the guy.
We're gonna take this slow.
Okay, so yeah, this is this Amaze VR stuff. And I'm telling you, it's pretty freaking cool. So let's go back to the Webby browser here. This is their channel, Amaze VR. But like, this is available on the Oculus Go as well. Like, I believe they have an app for this. Hopefully it comes to the Oculus Quest. But I'm going to tell you, I like this stuff. And the reason I like it is because you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Sega CD. Let me show you guys the Sega CD and like the full motion video games back in the days. The Sega CD. So it was what, 1992, I believe? It was about 1992 when this thing came out called the Sega CD. And they had full motion video games that you could play that was real full motion video. Stuff like Ground Zero Texas. I'll show you Ground Zero Texas. Ground Zero Texas. Yeah, so they had these games like Ground Zero Texas. Oh, this was such a good game. Like, out of the full motion video games, this was really cool. And then they had stuff like Night Trap. Now, I'm sure most of you have all heard about Night Trap. That was the Dana Plato one. They had stuff like Night Trap. You know, this is the Night Trap one. Everybody kind of heard about this. And of course, you can actually get a PlayStation 4 version of this, I think, nowadays. So they had Night Trap. And then there was also Sewer Shark. Sewer Shark. Sewer Shark is actually way underrated. I really like shooting the tubes with Ghost in Sewer Shark. Yeah, man, we're going to get to Solar City, baby. We're going to get to Solar City. And you got to just shoot them rats. Okay, so there was Sewer Shark, Night Trap, and this was the Sega CD. It was full motion video, and it died a brutal and horrible death. Everybody hated full motion video. And they're like, oh my God, this is not video games. This is not the way it should be. But what I'm trying to say here is that Amaze VR, this Amaze VR, it's basically Sega CD Reborn. This is Sega CD Reborn. It's kind of like choose your own adventure type of a deal, you know? So it's like you're they put you in these scenarios. Now, a lot of times you're like trying to score with some hot chick, right? And so like basically you're interacting with these people and then they give you a choice and it's like talk about A or talk about B. And so you hit one of the buttons and then you either advance and you maybe get to the hot tub or you get slapped. And that's what they got going on Amaze VR. And I think it's fun. I think it's really fun. You guys should probably try some of these out. They're pretty fun. I mean, they got double date. Like I'm guaranteeing you that all of these things, they're kind of like, I'm trying to see if any of these I actually tried myself personally, if I remember the one that I tried. I can't remember what the name of the one was that I tried. But they're funny, man. They're funny. And it's kind of like Choose Your Own Adventure. It's kind of like Sega CD. And I think it's really cool. So I think there's probably a lot of people out there that don't really know about these Amaze VR things, but they're actually pretty cool. And I think you guys should try some of them out because it really does remind me. It's kind of Choose Your Own Adventure. Sega CD reminds me of the full motion video. And they do the same exact stuff. They do the same exact stuff that they used to do on Sega CD. Like on Sega CD, what they would do is they would film it in first person. The guy would be like, hey, you. Yeah, you, come on. Come with me. Come this way. Yeah, come on, buddy. You know, they would always go up to the camera. Hey, here, let me give you this. Okay, now do this. Now do that. They do all the same type of stuff. And Rudel Zavedno says, I know this. It's called Porn VR. Well, you know, it's borderline. It's borderline porn. Like some of these really are borderline porn. There is some Amaze VR stuff that is straight up borderline porn. You got to be careful with some of this stuff. Absolutely. But anyway, that is pretty much most of the stuff that I wanted to get into today. And it has been an hour, so I can get the hell out of Dodge. All right, so let's go back over to our standard scene. Yeah, there it is. Don't you want to meet that hot chick? Don't you want to be that confident guy that you know the crazy thing about this though is eventually I think people are going to learn how to interact socially by this stuff. People are going to learn from these things. They really are. Like there are some clueless dudes out there that don't know how to talk to girls. They just feel incredibly uncomfortable. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to talk to them. This is going to help some people. This is really going to help some people. And eventually, see, this is like full motion video versions, but we're also going to have like non full motion video versions where it's actually like in a game world, you know, first person straight up, and you're going to learn how to talk to chicks. You're going to learn how to like how to do things, how to like interact. And like, there's going to be some people that they have no game whatsoever, and their game is going to be improved exponentially. It's going to be such a weird world that we're going to get into in the not too distant future. And then women are going to have to wonder, wait a minute, does this guy have natural game or did he get it from VR? That's what they're going to be wondering. Like, did this guy just work in VR to come up with all these tricks, or does he have natural skills? And that's a funny thing. It's truly a funny thing, but you guys should check that out. Okay, so let's see here. What do I want to do now? What I want to do now is, well, once again, I do want to say thank you so much to our sponsor of the day, Shift Manager Dell Wolfensberger at your local Burger King restaurant. Dell Wolfensberger III. Much love. Really appreciate it. This is not a Patreon thing. This is a PayPal thing. He recently donated $20 via PayPal. Incredibly awesome. Absolutely appreciate it so much. Thank you so much, Dell. But you know what? Dell, Shantomio, and Hussein X, you guys go on vacation. Take a break. Let somebody else donate some money, because you guys have definitely donated a lot. And I appreciate it. I truly do. I absolutely appreciate it. But now it's time for some other people to step up. Okay, so one other thing I did want to mention real quick. Hit the like button, guys. I got to start doing this halfway through the show. I got to start doing halfway through the show. I got to pause the show and I got to say, okay, I'm going to pause the show. And if we don't get 50 likes in the next minute, I'm stopping the show. I got to start doing that. Oh, damn, Dell's late for his shift. He's got to make them funnel cake fries. Hussein X says Maggie isn't as prominent on Amaze VR now. Lots more things have been. Yeah, the Maggie Bracco or whatever her name is. I think she's from Brazil. Not bad, y'all. Not bad. You know, that's really 3D looking. That's really 180 degrees. Oh, he's on vacay right now. Okay, so he's chilling like MRTV in Portugal at the beach. Yeah, MRTV is chilling at the beach with a loner quest. Lucky dog. Lucky dog. All right, well, I am pretty much out of here. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. Oh, check this out. We have got a surprise guest that is coming on the show tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you right now, but we've got a surprise guest. You guys are going to be pretty surprised by this guest, okay? Or maybe multiple guests. Is it one guest? Is it two? We've got a surprise guest for you tomorrow, but I do got to tell you this. The show is going to be early. We're starting at, I believe, 1 p.m. We're going to start at 1 p.m. Pacific time, okay? So it's going to be an early show tomorrow, and we have a surprise guest. And you know what? My thumbnail image for our surprise guest will arrive on YouTube within probably a couple of hours. And you'll be like, oh, wow, I didn't know. You'll be surprised. It's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to the interview tomorrow. I think it's going to be fun. So looking forward to that. But I got to bounce out of here. I will see everybody tomorrow at about 1 p.m. Pacific time. All right, take it easy. Everybody have a wonderful day. Later.